Hello, this is Graham Symington here for the second round of the Norwegian Cup for Division 1 teams of the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance. You can see here we just have one match, Barham versus Hulls in Division 1. This is being played a day early because the match is being played at the same stadium that Fortune Deflection use, so it must be there today. The Halls team, they make lots of changes for today. Out go all 11 players, I think. Or actually maybe Belletti's played last time, I don't know. But they're quite confident that they could win. So let's see if they do. Hierro to captain. And we shall see if the Barham team with Thomas Nigmatil up front can do a good job. But we hope not, because we like goals. And there we are, Nilsson has scored. It's 1-0. Well played to Nilsson, lovely play. And Nilsson comes close again. We have chances somewhere, maybe. Yes, to Nilsson again. Oh, fantastic. Well played, sir. Maybe you can score another goal. But it's 2-0, and Barham not really in the game very much at the moment. Ronaldo has had a chance. And Amoroso. Oh, fantastic goals. 3-0 up at this point. With not many players that would play at the weekend. So this is very good news. And Ronaldo with another chance, that was close. It's half time. We'll manage the substitution by keeping Ronaldo safe and well. So I think knowing that Nilsson can play up front and to save the players from the game, then we'll bring on Serginho. Oop. Let's just undo that. Bring on Serginho for Ronaldo. Which it just doesn't want to let me do it. There we go. And we get on with the second half. And to Nilsson, there he is. He's got his hat trick. It's 4-0, and he's done a very good job. Can there be any more goals? Maybe so. There is quite a bit of football being played, and with all the team being ready to play at the weekend, I think we will go without the substitutes here. Take them to the end of the match. Oh, it's so entertaining sitting here and talking about the football, knowing what people do enjoy and realizing I don't do any of it. But we're coming to the last 10 minutes of the match. Nilsson's done fantastic with lots of shots, and the 10 for Amoroso. It's a very, very comfortable performance. They'll be happy with that. Looking against the opposition, a couple of players have been okay, but with Hulls, that's lots and lots and lots of good play. 20 shots, they only had one against them. Fantastic. Well done, Jens Andersen. And yes, lots of attacking play, 64%. The goals, a smash from Nilsson for the first one, a header for a second, Amoroso with a header, and Nilsson with a low drive. And that's the match for this game. Tomorrow, which will not be tomorrow, it'll be Friday, we'll see more games involving all the other 13 teams from the division playing separate matches. I've been Graham Symington, and I'm going to hand over to Champ Egghorse for today's Division 2 fixtures. Goodbye.
Hello and welcome. Yeah, thank you very much, Graham Symington, for your wonderful cup commentary that we've just had there on the Hull's victory over Barham. Great to watch that game. Great Danielson hat-trick. Really, really good game. It's round 10 of Division 2 of the Swemp Electronics Football Alliance, and you can see our previous results in that 9th round. Some narrow victories. The Dangleys losing 1-0 to Radaby with a late goal. Stackington beating the Oties 1-0. Grove edging out Gondor, really moving clear of the 76ers as the cup winners. But then, of course, a big win at the top of the table there for Blues against Athletic, and the massive victory for Trumpton, who their interesting systems get better and better every time. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they've got in store today. That left the table with 3 teams tied at the top. Targetti Rangers, Dublin Blues and Trumpton Vice squad with Atletico Newmills, and Real E starting to keep up with the pace, I think, down at the bottom. Poor old Oties, no points, 14th place, 9 games, 9 defeats, just behind Gondor. Will they turn it around today, as they've got Dangleys, the big game against Dangleys, 14th versus 12th. Gondor themselves away to Dublin Blues, and we've got the massive mid-table match between Los Aracas and Steve Wright's Radaby FC, and it's time to welcome Steve to the show. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening. How are you doing?
Well, I'm very much looking forward to this. Yeah, fantastic. And you all right?
Very, very well, mate. There's a couple of interesting ones there this evening, as you've alluded to. I think looking about that when you were talking, the one that surprised me a little bit, when you look over the weeks, it's hard to see that Gondor have gone that far down. They've been in a lot of games. Roger Freestone started the season, best keeper in the league.
He's back today.
Well, he obviously won't be tonight. But he had last game as well.
He came. I think he came in last match for his comeback. Yeah, he had a 3-match ban.
But for me, the big one, the really big one, is the Otis with the Danglies. The Otis looking for obviously the first points of the season. The Danglies are looking for any points they can pick up for the season. And yeah, us against Iraq is a bit of a meh game. But there is again, there's some big games. I think in reality, Dalgety Rangers against Atleti, it's the real big one at night.
Oh yes, yeah, very, very close up at the top. And I think potentially, if Roundhay end up losing to Real E, that could put their title challenge off the rails. I think Real E 19 points and Roundhay 2 further back. Yeah, they could open that little gap up there, and I don't think it'd be the best news for Roundhay, who've been playing very well this season.
They're definitely. I think one thing that sets really apart, if you're looking all that apart from Blues, really his defence has really just kept them in and amongst it. You look at the goal scored, the teams in and around them, they've not really. I mean, you've got above them, you've got 31, 21, 21, 28, 26 below them. But the amount of goals they've conceded, it's kept them in the hunt. If they can put a bit of an attacking, not formation, but if they can start scoring a few goals, they've still got a massive chance of putting themselves in that top 3 to get up in that Division 1 next season.
Without a shadow of a doubt, I agree. Let's get started. We will definitely be doing the Dangleys match last today. There's also some World Cup games going on at the same time, so we'll have a look at those results afterwards. The World Cup just underway. Turkey versus Uruguay and Paraguay versus Argentina. We are definitely not starting with the game that we've said that we're going to put on last. So we will go to the match that was one that was getting our attention. It was really versus Roundhay, and I think 5th versus 6th is a good place to start the matches for today. Last time out, really beat the 76ers, and this time round, it's just a few changes to the lineup. Gareth Southgate's come in, and Harry Kewell's in for Paul Scholes, and the strikers have switched places.
I mean, one thing I will say is Gareth Southgate, he is if you looked into, as you do, any editing, he's one of the best centre halves on the game first season. So he's not losing anything by losing anybody by bringing him in. You've got Ferdinand Biscant. I don't really like Biscant at centre half, but he'll always do a job. But this formation has really set what really he's done all season. It's been really solid for him, not conceding any goals. As much as I don't like him, he's in my squad and he's got number 50. Kjell can put a shift in that position, probably more so than Paul Scholes. And I can't see past another tight, really, victory here.
Another tight one. I do believe I've missed out probably the biggest change for the team today, that the suspended Patrick Vieira has been replaced by Kieran Dyer in the team as well. So that's a big miss there, Vieira. 8.43 average rated so far this season. Really playing well.
I wish mine were.
I think, was it 4.83, I think, for your Vieira, maybe?
I think before last game, I'm sure he would have missed something before last game, to be fair. So I've obviously got the dud one. I've got actually Ryan of Bolton Phoenix. Roy Keane is my Vieira. So we can both moan about a DM that's not playing right well.
So they have a fight over a game of chess or something instead, maybe, rather than a physical one. Roundhay, who just going a little bit off the rails at the moment, but of course still very much a talented side. Lost 4-2 to Dalgety Rangers, but again, Dalgety top of the league. Today for Roundhay, taking it back a little bit. One fewer up front, another one in midfield, and a debut for Steven Gerrard.
I mean, because considering your home, I don't know. I think it's very defensive against a side that doesn't score a lot of goals. If you're going against a side that doesn't score a lot of goals and don't concede a lot of goals, you have to throw a bit to them to try and test them a little bit. I fully understand where he's coming from. He's had a couple of off performances. Obviously, he defeated last time out, and I know we scored the week before. We scored a late equaliser against him, but in fairness, we quite maybe deserved the victory slightly. I don't think against the really defence, I don't think this helps Roundhay's chances too much. But the big surprise for me is Gerrard getting his debut. I know he's got some really strong players there, but I thought Gerrard might have got a game before.
Yeah, now. 9 league games without playing him. Maybe this is now the time to get him in and give him a go. But Roy Keane only played twice this season. They've got some talented defensive midfield players, and to be honest, quite a few defensive midfield players. So, and the fact that they've only played one means that Vieira's played every single match so far. 8.33 for this Vieira. So another good one. No dud on this side here. Steven Gerrard auto assigned the number 23 shirt. Peter Herland refereeing, and we shall get started straight away from the common. I think really,
I'm really liking both clubs' colours.
It's a nice Roundhay away kit there. Something a bit different. I think it's the first time we've seen it this season. It's very hard to see in the text. I can see Viduka's just put one over the bar for really, but it's a lovely colour. Apart from the fact you cannot read what they're doing, still a bit better than the Flamingos one. They've had a chance, and I can see Van Nistelrooy's had a chance, and they've been picked up by somebody. Really taking the ball forward, just try and escape a little bit, and they go forward. There, Ronaldinho involved. A good save from Bosnich. And Van Nistelrooy with another chance for Roundhay. A yellow card for Harry Kewell, yellow card for Ryan Giggs so far. Not the most usual players to get booked. It's been quite end-to-end. I didn't even see Ronaldinho had scored, to be honest. And Harry Kewell's equalised. I don't even know when Ronaldinho scored. Absolutely no idea. It could have been 1-0 for a long time, and before that equaliser. In fact, let's have a little look. 32 minutes. It wasn't too much before. 32 minutes. Ronaldinho, Harry Kewell. Did you see that they scored, Steve?
No, I didn't. I tell you how. Because in fairness, I look at the ratings, and Roundhay's keeper were on an 8 for a long time. So it looked like, even though there were a lot of the text that we couldn't read in the in the Texans were coming up, it seemed like really he must have been putting quite a bit of pressure on it background with him having an 8.
It will be interesting to look at those stats, won't it? Yeah, it was a free kick following Giggs' yellow card that Ronaldinho put it through the wall. Who was a bit disappointing there. It's gone through the wall. And then Harry Kewell. So Beckham's found Kewell, who's taken on Cole, Campbell, and Vieira, and managed to put that one in. I mean, that's a bit of talent going on there, isn't it? And then
is Beckham going to get an assist for that? Does he deserve it? In my opinion, no. Really, when he's skipped past 5 players.
Have a look. He has got the assist. Yeah, he's got the assist, despite the fact it was a lot of dancing. 4 shots, 4 on target, 4 shots, 3. I thought there were more shots.
He's probably passed it up at edge at 6-yard box there as Beckham, ended up with an assist. So, but very even game. In fairness, it's difficult to see where a winner would come from either side. Oh, sorry, it's hard to predict who might win it, but there's been obviously not a lot again down really back end when you were looking at that in their last third. Very little ball.
Very much in the Roundhay side, hasn't it? I'm just checking if there's any substitute plans for either side. They're all at 60 minutes. So having a look, yeah, I think there's plenty of match winners. It's just that they might cancel each other out, I think. Beckham, not many passes. Southgate, not many passes. Nobody's really passing loads, but they are passing with quite an amount of accuracy. Whereas for Real E, again, for Roundhay, again, it's quite similar. The players are not tending to pass. There's been quite a few tackles going in, and you look across the way, all seven outfield players have put tackles in successfully.
Yeah, I think looking at that, looking at the Real E stats standing against the Roundhay stats, if the Roundhay guys can step it up a little bit of a level, they've got more than enough to get a win here. Obviously, looking at there, you got 1-8, a couple of 7s that rest on 6s, and a couple of really. I mean, I know it's fairly even, but it's whoever's players can step it up in second half, considering how even it was. You can't call a winner from here. To be fair,
can't call a winner. But will there be one? Let's get to 60 minutes and see how this goes, and see if we notice a goal if Roundhay do score this time. They've had a chance, wasn't it? Yes, it is. It's Van Nistelrooy. He has scored. It's 2-1 to Roundhay. And they've come forward with another chance with Van Nistelrooy. And then Beckham hits the side netting for Real E. Well, Rio Ferdinand's not having the best of games, but there are 2 planned substitutes for Real E of Hasselbank and Scholes to be coming onto the pitch. And I'm just going to check there's nobody that's got serious injuries, so no, they don't. So Kewell comes off for Scholes, and Hasselbank for Viduka is the other change. And for Roundhay, taking a look at their fitness and such like, we're going and check. So we've got Rui Costa for an attacking mid if they're, well, one of these, if they're on 6 or lower. Well, Ronaldinho's on a 9, Riquelme 6, and Pires 6. I mean, Pires would be less fit than the others, won't he? So that would definitely be the case there of bringing on Rui Costa for Pires. Henry for Van Nistelrooy if he's on a 6 or lower. Nope, so just the one change to happen there. And back on. So it's still 2 Van Nistelrooys on the pitch. And still 2 Rio Ferdinands on the pitch, of course. Can anyone get the 4th goal of the match? It's going to be pretty tight towards the end of this game, really. Now conceded double-figure number of goals. But still very tight defence. Can they pick up an equaliser? Roundhay have done very well to come back into this game after looking like they were being dominated towards the end of the first half. And we're going into injury time. Another chance potentially. It's 2-1 full time. And Roundhay take the points. Well, like you say, you couldn't necessarily predict a winner. Still pretty even at the end.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't think it could get any more even. In honesty, I think it says a bit more about Roundhay there, digging that out against a side that dig results out as well. massive hats off to him. But I'm sure Matt will. I don't think he'll change too much. Apart from, I mean, obviously a little bit more there. Played down. I think they were 18% in
Yeah,
their
it was very low first half, wasn't it? Yeah.
And a little bit more played second half, which probably shows why they've scored second goal. But Matt's no need to panic massively, but that's a big result for around here. That
very good result. It's put them back in front of Really again, and in fact, just 2 points off the top of the table at this point. So it's amazing how it can turn it around. Van Nistelrooy puts in a rebound after Bosnich has parried a Robert Pires chance. Ferdinand, 8 tackles. Southgate, 6. Veron, 7. Really, they can't be faulted for effort.
No, I mean, obviously Ferdinand's picked that 5 up to a 7 second half, so he's obviously he's put a big shift in second half. If that were a 7 at second half, he'd probably end up with a 9, where he's put that effort in. There's not too much wrong there, up and down. Southgate probably a little bit surprising, but he's only one half of his tackles, but he's probably put more in than everybody else. So
yeah, it's just no headers. I mean, is that something that counts against him maybe as a defender? But if the ball's not near him, he's not going to head it from 10 yards away, is he?
Does banging off the end of your massive nose count as your head? I don't know. Does it count it as a different limb? He might have won a few of his nose, but
as a limb.
It might. No, honestly, they've done. They haven't played badly there really, so I don't think Matt will react too much. And
it's just a very even game. You look at it, and Campbell and Vieira have put challenges in, but it's been quite spread out. Yeah, I can't. If this game had been the other way around, 2-1, really, I don't think anyone would have complained there. It's just a very even game, and well done to Jim for guiding round here to victory.
Yeah, definitely. It's not. It's tough. Obviously, as I found out playing at home against Really, it's a tough team to get a result against full stop. But to go into their backyard and get a result when you've got Van der Sar's obviously had a bit of pressure on him, but he's relied on Ronaldinho and Van Nistelrooy putting a decent performance in above everybody else, because there's not that much behind him really that's set world on fire. So big result, and it's it just makes things a little bit more interesting for that little bit of middle batch sort of chasing for that third spot.
Very tight, that top 6. I believe I lost 5-2 to Really and 6-0 to Roundhay. So yeah, it's just less said the better. Trumpton Vice Squad versus the 76ers. Now Trumpton in 3rd place last game using a wonderful formation. They're quite unique in its style, isn't it? Of only one player central in the middle of midfield and everybody else on wide positions. 5-1 against Los Aracas. Great result there for them. This time round, their formation is again something that we've not seen this season, and here it is, the 4-6-non formation.
I mean, I saw you comment on Twitter earlier when Joe, Mr. Megasave, were talking about in the Super League, should there be some restrictions put there, and you said everybody should look at. I'm sure Mr. Fife and Mr. Swindon Devils have played something similar in the Super League, no strikers, and he got a result with it. But the forward arrows scream of players not being where they are there. And if that were an away game, I'd say hats off. It's having a go, but being defensive at the same time. But being at home, I think it's just a little bit negative, in my opinion.
Well, I think I learned quite quickly not to say anything about the Trumpton formations when they've had such success for strange formations. So I'm going to withhold my judgment. I think slightly negative, but I mean, they're easily capable of victory, aren't they, with a great team that they have as well. Looking into their opponents for today, the 76ers. Now, we know what their system is, usually. A very slight change in terms of how it is today, with some width being created by Nedved and Riquelme.
I mean, I totally get that with Nedved. Riquelme, has he got the ability to do it? He's got ability massively. I mean, obviously, I know he's a The only player I come across recently is Marquinhos. I know he's a big fan of Marquinhos. Nedved's either-footed. If you were going to play that, would have been better with Marquinhos when Nedved is and Nedved not right. Maybe so, but interested to see how Rakama gets on doing that. A lot of arrows, apart from one back.
Yeah, Takanadi filling in as a third centre back does help when they're being attacked.
Yeah, I just think looking at the way that Trumpton have set up at home and the gaps there are where the 76ers players are. I wouldn't overly be shocked and surprised to see 76ers nick a result here.
I just checked our last game. Their last game was that narrow defeat to Real E. So Trumpton the form team in the game, but 76ers the cup winners, and in their wonderful green away kit as well. So we should be able to see both colours very, very nicely. And Martin Ingvarsson refereeing today. Kicking off in style with 5 minutes of inactivity. And then forward straight away, Robin with the first chance of the game. Sigalko has come forward for 76ers and had a chance as well. With 15 minutes in, no goals yet, but there's been some action. Slowly coming forward with a bit more. Chance there for Balmer, I think it was. Rosicki fouled by Cannavaro and a yellow card given. A great save then coming in. And Trumpton with Robin with another chance. Del Piero getting more and more involved for 76ers. And David Collins makes it 1-0 to Trumpton. So the formation working so far after half an hour. Performance-wise, they are slightly more in. Go on, Steve, go on.
No, I was saying no complaints there. Mr. Tito Marino will be creaming his pants that Mr. Collins has scored a goal as well. So.
Oh yes, yeah. He might well be making an appearance a bit later on. I mean, look at the first half ratings. You can tell that Trumpton are on top.
Yeah, I mean, Vieira were on an 8 really early doors, but so were Costanzo. So it really looked like 76 were on top for a little bit, but then from there, Buffon went from 6 to a 7 to an 8. And I mean, you take the 3 off target off there. It's been a fairly even game again. I think it shows solidarity at league, really. Tight games mostly, week in, week out. And again, you won't put it past 76ers, getting a result here, but the way Trumpton have been going all year, regardless of these innovative formations, it's suiting the players they've got. And yeah, it's you won't be surprised to see it stay as it is, in honesty, with how even it's been.
It's very tight, isn't it? Again, 2 tight games so far. And Saeed with a half volley into David Collins, who gets himself free and hits it on a half volley. That sounds amazing. 2 half volleys in a row. What a great goal that is. I mean, we've had some nice goals this season from some players, and David Collins has got a couple of them. And Van Nistelrooy, of course, that volley he got from a throw-in, which was a highlight that I've had this season as well from looking at the goals. It doesn't look like they've had to do too much to be in command here.
No, but I bet if you look at 76's side, there's 6s in there where Trumpton are solid throughout. With Vieira, from watching it early doors, Vieira picked up an 8 after really, really early minutes. So he's obviously been sat there breaking everything up that 76ers have done. Which is so surprising that Costanzo was on an 8 with how solid the whole team have been. But no, if you're Trumpton manager there, you're really happy with that performance. And if nobody drops from that, you'd expect them to see it out.
I think you would do. I think you would. Potential knee injury for Rosicki. Just thinking about whether that is. Yeah, it is a potential injury for half time there to make the change. Duff at 85 will be retained for a little bit. He might be someone to come off at some point. So I'm just trying to work out what's going to happen here. So Rosicki's going to come off. So Agahawa will go on the right hand side. just been struggling to drag a bit today.
When you clicked on Rosicky though, there I was surprised. I wasn't surprised, but over what's it called? 3 starts, 3 goals, 1 off at bench. It's or 3 off at bench. That's
very solid.
Good season so far.
And for 76ers with their changes, just at 60 minutes for them. Just a quick look at their stats. Yeah, 6s, almost all 6s really. Yeah, could be better, but they are still in the game.
Yeah, if them 6s can start stepping it up a little bit, from games we've watched earlier in the night, they're not in the Swemp League. If people that are not playing too well can put a second half performance together that can, when there's a lot of 6s about, and keep the other team at bay, they're still in with a massive chance. It just depends on how much they can put the foot on the pedal in the second half for me.
It has been a bumper night of football, hasn't it? We've had the 7 games from the Super League. We've had the first of the Cup round from Division 1, and then we've got 7 games here, 15 quality Championship Manager matches tonight. So plenty to feast your eyes on. If you haven't watched any of those so far, go back and watch that Super League round, the opening round of the season.
What a time to be alive.
It certainly is. Lockdown coming over, but the games are still going thick and fast, and we have seen no action really in the second half so far, so we could comment on that all we liked. There's a chance there for Sigalko, he puts it just over the bar. And for Trumpton, we check anyone 83 or 6s, 83% the key trigger, so Mike Duff is the man to come off. This will be Okoronkwo at right back. Yeah. Yes, because that was a suggestion of other things. So yeah, Okoronkwo to right back there. The others will be retained. And for 76ers, we watched the second half. I think we watched the second half on the 76ers view, I think. So far, it didn't make any difference. 76ers changes. Kesman for either striker if they've not scored. Well, we've got Del Piero 85, Sigalko 83. Rating wise, 7s and 7s, both of them. Del Piero's not had a shot. I think he should go.
He's for me, I don't even know why he's in the Super League. I think he's terrible on the game. Absolutely terrible. I'd never play him in a month of Sundays. I appreciate that Mr. Lazarus has put him in his team, but he's just somebody. There's plenty of. I think he's one of the worst. He's worse than people like you. He's like
Zidane.
Yeah, your Zidane's, your Nedveds to an extent. But you know, it's what this league's about. It's about players that you've had something out of, isn't it? And
people's personal choices, yeah, absolutely. You know, the only people who can be blamed for the team selection is themselves, I guess. 75 minutes in this second half, as you said, was it could have just been closed off at half time in a way. Is there going to be anything coming forward in the rest of this game? It's so tight. Cannavaro, red card. They've made their substitutes. They're going to have to play 4 at the back. So Van Bommel will go into that position. They'll withdraw. Well, they won't withdraw a striker, will they? At this point, Rui Costa will just drop back in there, and Takanadi will go to centre back. No point dropping a striker when you are a goal down and a man down.
All right. So do you have to keep 4 at the back? I thought it were like 3 at the back and 2 wides for me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, we could just undo that. Yeah, I'm just looking at it. There's no need to keep 4 at the back. Yeah, let's just put Maldini in the middle.
Chasing game a little bit. I think that's the
getting carried away, thinking, oh yeah, they've got to have the centre backs. No, you're absolutely right. Well spotted. And get into the rest of the game. And what an amazing second half that was. So little happened. We have seen 2 shots on target for both teams, but I don't really remember them happening. And it was a very even game. We see here that Trumpton, actually the possession has really closed in over that second half. So 76ers have done a decent job. But there's nothing really to report. Patrick Vieira has missed 8 of his tackles.
And he's still ended up with an 8. I mean, there were a lot of Camberwick Green red all throughout that second half. But 76 take a lot from that, considering they were not great in the first half. They've obviously
played better, haven't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Trumpton have got plenty of goals in them, as we saw last game out as well, and they've obviously negated that. They've stepped up their performance, but I think at that same time, Trumpton's went up to, they had quite a few weights on board as opposed to where they were. Really sorry from Trumpton, but no, 76 take a lot from that. I think they can.
Yeah, and the formation again successful for Trumpton. This is it's something that's working as an absolute masterclass for Barney McGrew, and that is, I think, 3 different formations and possibly 3 victories in a row. So well done there. We have the game now of second bottom versus second top? I think it is. Gondor versus the Dublin Blues. Last time out, Gondor were beaten 2-1 by Grove, but they were hampered with the Romo sending off. Roger Freestone was back and he's installed as captain today. A few changes again. So Station Officer Steele, as it was the other day, whatever his name was, what was his name? Williams has been dropped in favour of Rory Fallon to come into the team. Shefki Kuchi gets a start in place of Romo. Roberts is brought into the defence. The attacking mid, who it is that's come on and playing there. And on the bench today, we've got Daniel Nardiello for the first time this season.
Yeah, he's gone all out there, hasn't he, Mr. Swan? Van de Gun in AMC, I've had really good numbers out of him there. Sidibe is obviously really good, as is James Thomas. Rory Fallon can be a miss on different saves.
This is still there. Still, it's been there for a while. Wants to be transfer listed. He feels I think he just feels too big.
He is one of them, though, isn't he? If that back four and Makalele can hoof ball up and some of them can put it down, they could have a little bit of joy in that. But you can't blame like Swemp for going for it here, because obviously Blues are where they are in the league and trying to flood a bit of their defensive side, try to keep them a bit more on back foot. I think he is sort of vindicated where he's in league, where they are in league, to just have a go. And
definitely
bit of shot to nothing in it, and it could quite easily work knowing the game. So.
He is man 25 for the season, so they've used all of their players during this game if Nardiello comes on. For the Blues, last time out, the 4-1 win over Atletico Newmills was a great result. Martin van Bommel, man of the match performance there, with almost every pass completed, almost every tackle, 2 assists. He's a complete player last game.
Yeah, it's a great performance from him, and that's in a position that I hate playing DMs in. As we were alluding to a bit of Super League earlier on, I said the same about him playing there tonight, but he was involved in a team that won very heavily again from that position. So I'm obviously no person to be talking about where players can play.
People work for some and not for others. It's always the case, isn't it?
But there's a lot of power in there. Zeraboto is just Zeraboto. He's best left wing back, probably the best left winger you can have on the game, without a shadow of a doubt. Thought I'd get that one in there. 4 assists. 4 assists is probably a little bit less than we might have expected so far.
Agahauer's got 3 on the other side. Nicky Franco's not picked up any, but he has got 3 goals. So basically the assists are coming from White, and then Van Bommel got 2 last game, didn't he, as well? So the entire midfield.
If I can just pull one thing apart there that sets a little bit of my champ manager. We've all got our own champ manager OCDs. Nicky Ferenko and Robin there. Yeah, that's the one.
As soon as you said it, I thought it's Robin on the right, isn't it?
Yeah, when Nicky Ferenko's over-footed, it is that. But again, a question of a team that are up there in the league and looking good for putting themselves up to the easier Division 1. So
the easier Division 1. Yeah, just the one change. Kevin Hoffland is out and Walter Samuel comes into the team instead. So yeah, let's get on with this one. Kenneth Peterson refereeing. And Swansea versus World Stars is quite the matchup, isn't it? Van Bommel's had it disallowed early on. First chance of the game, goal disallowed. Zeriberto looking lively, but Gondor not looking too out of it at this point. Freestone is heavily involved, making some good saves already. And there's another chance for Blues. Nicky Ferenko was heavily involved in that one, and I think he was involved again with a chance, but Gondor holding firm. Half an hour in, 0-0. Coming towards the 40-minute mark, it's still no goals, and Roger Freestone touched a 9 at one point. That's a rating, not an age. And then we are almost at half time. Can they hold out? It's another good save. There's no wonder he's on a 9 at half time there. I would imagine that Lucio and West are on low ratings because they've not had much to do.
I mean, the one thing is, they've not really been bang at it, have they? Of Blues. I mean, obviously Vieira again on an 8. But if you look there, Lucio on a 5, his defensive partner on a 6. If Gondor could have had a couple more chances, I wouldn't have been surprised to see him nick one on the back of that. But yeah, it's all been Blues. It looks like they've got another gear in them just to try and take it up. They've probably got another 2 or 3 gears in them. But
they're just trying to smash that back door in, aren't they, at the moment?
Indeed, but take me off to Gondor for holding it out for the minute. Considering they haven't been that good, looking across there, obviously Andy Melville and Roger Freestone. Apart from that, they haven't been that good as well. So holding them out, I think it's big credit to Swan and Gondor for holding them out so far.
Huge credit, yeah, absolutely. They'll be making no changes at half time. They might as well just continue as they are. Whereas for the Blues, yeah, I mean, they're just not. I mean, West's made 2 tackles, so he's done what he's needed to do. And Lucio missed his 1 tackle. Yeah, basically, Patrick Vieira has broken up every chance that they've had and just taken it forward. And that's why he's on the 8.
Is that 6 a little bit harsh on Taribo West?
I think he is.
10
Yeah, I think
out of 11. Won all his tackles. I think he deserves at least a 7 there. Really, we know it can throw some random ratings out here, there, and everywhere. But again, you look at where Gondor are battling. Like I said, they've got another gear or 2 to get out of, haven't they? A minute of Blues, and it's all dependent on how long Roger Freestone can keep his nerve. For me,
hours and hours usually. Let's see how he gets on in that second half. A chance immediately. There we are. Freestone parried it, and Robin has put in the rebound. Robin, who had probably the poorest first half of anybody, even Lucio's 5, he's managed to get the opening goal. And we're going towards substitutes now. And to manage the Gondor substitutes, Sidibe he's not doing so well. Let's have a look at the strikers. There's going to be one striker coming. Sidibe's doing better than Fallon. Let's take Rory Fallon off and bring on Daniel Nardiello. So he gets his game. And otherwise, just to check any ratings, Makaleli. I mean, would you? I don't think you'd take Makaleli off for Damien Lacey. I can't see that happening.
No, I mean Damien Lacey is a big player that I really like in the game. But you're in a game against somebody like the Blues, and you're still in it to an extent. Yeah, Makaleli is Stellfield, from my opinion.
I mean, you could see a Thomas off, Cucci up front, and Lampard in attacking mid.
Yeah, it did definitely. Yeah, I think. I don't think Sheffield is the answer there. To be fair, Lampard probably can do a job there. Obviously, he's not on the game. He got a little bit better in real life. Not really a big fan of him, but
with his super goals.
Yeah, but they've got to try and do a little bit of something and try and create a bit more to try and break them big three defenders down, which is superb really out there back.
Yes, yeah, they're just working well, aren't they? Bad or tired at 60 was the request. I don't think Zeriberto's injured, so he'll continue. Centre backs, I don't think Bad should come in through centre backs. To be honest, I don't think you'd make any changes there. And how would you liven it up? I mean, Robin scored.
I think the conditions tell you how little.
Yeah, they've not had a lot to do, so we'll head into the rest of this game. There's still nothing happening. He's not having the best of time tonight. It is definitely back on now, Steve, so we can continue. But yeah, we've missed our expert analysis, I believe, of the Gondor Blues game. We will have a quick check at the end.
Your expert analysis, might I add, not mine.
It was certainly yours. Yes, so they're up against Stackington Colliery today, Grove. And Stackington's last game, a 1-0 win over OTs, which probably doesn't look the best result on reflection. They did score 3 times, but 2 disallowed. But yeah, could be better. Today, they've had their hand has been forced in terms of one change to the lineup, and I cannot even remember where the lineup change has happened. It's Volodenkov has been injured. I can't even remember what it is. And it's my team. I know that let's go back to last match and just have a check what's happened here. That I have absolutely no idea what's happened for me to make a change for this game, but I have.
Training injury, maybe.
I think it's probably just fancied it a bit. Yeah, middle of midfield. We've changed the middle of midfield. I think Romoshenko is missing from this match. Milevski's moved further forward. Said's coming to midfield, and Gamera is now playing centre back. Yeah, it's the light injury to Romoshenko. That's where it is. Your thoughts for today?
It's the first time I've ever seen Andrei Milevski in a central midfield role. I was surprised not to see, if that's where you were going, not to see the big doctor in there, in fairness. But I think from where you started the season, or stacking the start of the season, I don't like to be associated with them while you're on comms. I think
generally
going a little bit more, a little bit more serious in terms of team selection. It's strong. It's a gap. Obviously, last time out, I think when you clicked at him, I'm sure he got a 9 last time out. I think both year, and he's obviously had a really, really good, solid season so far. There's not much you can pick apart at that time. In my opinion, that's the strongest 11 that Stacking have put out this season.
It's certainly got something positive about it. Definitely, the team have picked up form, and it's mainly with Keem coming in conceding 5 and 5, and the other two keepers have conceded 10 each in the other 4 games they've conceded 10 each between them. So a real change in goal.
Yeah, I think that Quim's just been a little bit tighter, hasn't he? So.
And we're into the game. Peter Freudfeld, I believe it might be his first chance of refereeing a match this season. And gusty weather, 32 degrees, so in for an energy sapper, I believe. Let's get started. And this could be a game where we have full-on commentary and things on this game. And Ruud van Nistelrooy scored within the first 10 minutes. He scored last game, the winner. And this time around, he scored the opener to this match. And he's straight down the other end with it. Andy Cole's had a chance for Grove. And can they just sit and grind anything out? And Nikiforenko at 2-0. David James not having the best of performances after a great start to the season that he's had. Van Nistelrooy puts one over. Paulo Sergio misses a target as well. It's been all Stackington for much of this game. Nikiforenko's hit the post. And another chance to save this time for David James. Van Nistelrooy with a chance, and D'Alessandro coming off. It's a ready-made swap for Robert Prosinecki.
Yeah, it has to be. Any thoughts? Tim Sherwood there should be thrown in a bin. And
I think Stu has similar thoughts about that situation as well. He is the choice defensive midfielder. It's nearly half time. Milevski with a chance. A gap coming forward as well. Keem's made a save towards the end of the half. And at half time, 2-0. Plenty of shots for Stackington, but Grove still in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's been as much as the 2-0 dominant. It's not been as dominant as you probably expect. They're still having a little bit of a go at Grove. And I think if it comes to a point where he's got in his substitutions where Dario Silva comes on, that's where he seems to be at his most dangerous and might cause Stackington a little bit of a problem.
Yeah, 60 minutes is the plan. So we'll see if he comes on. So David James has made a save from Van Nistelrooy, has put in his own rebound, and then the next one headed down from Van Nistelrooy to Nikiforenko. So some good teamwork, and Van Nistelrooy being a scorer and creator at the moment. D'Alessandro had a very empty performance before coming off. Teddy Sheringham's going to need to come off, I think, at this point as well, isn't he? Really?
Yeah, well, it looks like he's. I mean, I know he's about a 54-year-old, but even for his age, it looks like he's probably carrying an injury.
And so, I mean, if you're looking to that now, the only real person who can come on is Dario Silva, isn't he? To come on for Sheringham, to play there, and maybe to switch them round after 15 minutes. Oh, I've taken off Cole. That's not the plan. Taken off the wrong player there. Sheringham. And to just, if at 60 minutes Cole hasn't scored, then Dario Silva can go up front at that point.
Yeah, I mean, you could have brought Sherwood on and put Prosinecki up there to keep Sherwood in the loop. We all know that's not doable.
Sherwood does seem to be there out of necessity at the moment in terms of substitutes. I know that he is the choice defensive midfielder. You can tell from the fact he's played very, very little and played very, very badly this season. Steve Finnan's one to watch for the next few minutes, I think, as well. He's carrying a potential knee injury, but I wouldn't want to make 3 subs at half time for anybody.
Can I just say that makes me feel absolutely sick to the stomach seeing Steve Finnan with a 5.89. My favourite player
with a poorly knee.
Poorly knee, poorly nose, poorly anything. The 5.89 for Steve Finnan is not. You can't get a 5.89 out of Steve Finnan on this game. It's not doable.
My thoughts on it is he's playing fullback, and he is not a fullback. He's a wing. He's a wing back, but cannot play fullback. That's my thoughts on that.
Yeah. That no disrespect to Grove there. So it's just I've got a man crush on Steve Finnan on this game. So
He was referred to in another performance of the Super League tonight that he was your favourite player on the entire game.
he's indeed, and he got a goal. Might have.
There we go.
So,
Agat, 3 tackles won. Silvestre winning some key tackles. It's going fine without being spectacular, and we'll get to 60 minutes for both teams.
yeah, Agat's doing a really good job on that right wing there.
Again,
Doing
yeah.
defensive work.
And there's Paulo Sergio. Was that his first goal of the season? 3-0. Quite a dominant performance for two teams that are next to each other in the league. It didn't look like it was going to be a 3-goal deficit between the sides. I mean, Cole's playing badly, but Finnan 84, a potential knee injury. And I know Cole's not going to, but definitely Dario Silva will be up front. But would you take off Cole for his terrible performance, or would you take off Finnan for his?
Yeah, I try and protect, and I'm not saying it because it's Stephen. I probably try and protect the injury a little bit.
Yeah,
and
no, I can
bring
agree.
Eddie Howe on, and then put Curtis on at right back. And sorry,
yeah,
no, he's
I mean,
playing left back, isn't he?
Finnan's been playing. Yeah, I mean, Curtis. I mean, Zivkovic is right only. Curtis is right, so Curtis could go to left back as soon as he can play as a fullback, or would you just put Eddie Howe on at left back? That might be the way forward.
Stuck with that now.
There's nobody in the team. I mean, Patrick Berger can play left, but he's useless. He'd be useless at a fullback position.
Useless full stop, I think, personally. But yeah, I think you got to
Eddie Howe on.
It's probably something Stu's probably not overly. I mean, it depends on what your rules are here for me.
Go on.
Right. So I would then look. Is Zivkovic our centre?
He's a right and centre, yeah, with a right only for feet.
So depending on your rule, I don't know about because I know you're quite flexible with. So for me, yeah, that'd be Howe, Campbell, Zivkovic, 3 centre backs.
As the 3 there, yeah, and then what to do with John Curtis?
John Curtis, right wing back.
That would be quite a lot of changes there, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then
they are losing. They are losing, and it's against me.
And then,
so I'm going to let this happen. What, and then just play Cole off Silva like that?
Yeah, or maybe centralise him.
Yeah.
With an arrow.
As it is against my team, I will let them do this to protect the
side. Just try to keep his team as potent as it can be, rather than players too far out.
Yeah, I'm accepting of that. It's you know.
If you lose 4-3, I'm gonna cut the Zoom and I'm just gonna go to bed.
It's no detriment to my team, that is it. So Paulo Sergio is Wilfred Baumer is going to be coming off as well. So there'll be 2 subs here. Now I'm going to do one of them as Song for Baumer, and the other one that's going to involve the switch over up here is that Selness is going to come on in attacking mid. There we are.
Well, he's used to being there anyway when he plays in DMC for you. So
yeah, he can do some running, but his strongest position is attacking mid anyway. So it's a useful little change to have there. So 16 for attacking, 16 for defensive mid, and 20 for attacking. So chances have dried up a little bit. Stackington coming forward still. Van Nistelrooy 4-0.
Good goal.
Keane at the moment is on course to concede fewer than games played, which would be a real change for any sort of team for me.
I mean, I do hope Stu don't think I were a bit too detrimental of where his team were there. I think it probably, in my opinion, it might have helped him a little bit more than having players with who think ball out with the right. And
yeah, I do think it's only been 1 goal difference. You know, they were losing. They still have lost. They've been beaten. 4-0.
Steve Finnan were on an 8 from left back before he went off from being terrible early doors. So
his average rating will go up then. Grove have outdone them in possession. So well done, Grove have done all right there. They've had the attacking areas, but Stackington have just had a lot of chances and put some away. The fourth goal, that one in the second half there, we have got a Gat has played it across, and Paulo Sergio is there with a header for his first goal for the team. That was a third goal, wasn't it? And then the fourth goal, Milevski playing in the middle of midfield towards Van Nistelrooy. So good performance from him. Substitute wise, I mean, the subs have kind of worked out. Cole's had a dire performance, but he's had to stay on the pitch due to the fitness of other players.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know. I mean, it's hard when you're chopping and changing players about and chopping formations. It's hard to get a bit of a sustainability with how you're playing. I'm sure Stu will go back to the drawing board a bit and have a look at his team. And I know that, to be fair, Dario Silva's only scored when he's come off at bench, so I don't really blame him for putting him on bench. But looking at that from Andy Cole now,
there's been quite a few changes between them this season, definitely. I think it's unfortunate that Finnan has got himself injured, and he's needed to be protected because David Unsworth is injured as well, the other left back. So it's definitely a case of keeping him fit for next time round. So the right substitute was made, and of course they need to have more attacking players on the pitch at 3-0 down, I guess.
Yes, I mean, obviously depending then on what Finnan's injury is and what he's got available next game, it might have to be an all change up of what he's been playing to try and.
I think we've saved him from injury there. I think we have saved him from an injury.
I think it could have been worse.
As a right midfielder, a Gat winning 6 tackles. He's quite high there for a right mid. It means that potentially Finnan was causing some problems during that first half and first 60 minutes. Sylvester 7, Said with 5, and quite key to it. Milevski's got himself an 8.
No, well, for a centre midfield role, first time I've ever seen him played there. I do not but tip me out to him.
I've received some criticism from Fortuna for playing Romoshenko as a defensive mid and Milevski as a centre mid for a few games, and then I swapped them around last time.
To be fair, I've seen Neil Scally do bits in centre midfield and still get assists galore. So for me, the big positive there for me is Didi Gat. He's a favourite of mine, but doing that work up and down wing. He's got an assist. He's done all that work tackling. I think take away Van Nistelrooy, I think he's probably been a big contributor towards getting that big result.
Huge. And the pressure is certainly on teams like Radaby now. Can they keep up with Stackington?
Pressure's been on since day dot.
We've got 3 matches to go. One of them's your team. One of them's the amazing bottom of the table clash. And then, of course, we've got this one of the top of the table clash with Dalgety Rangers and Atletico New Mills. Last time round, 4-2 to the Jers. So a great result there, despite the fact they lost Sebastian Frey. Obviously, now he's suspended. And we can see Stefan Kloss has stepped onto the bench for today. It's his first appearance on the bench this season, in for sentimental reasons, I believe. Ross Swallows picked him. It's a bit of a changed midfield with Liverani coming into the middle this time.
I think a lack of a proper DMC may slightly hinder him. I know he's got Liverani there in the centre midfield who, if you look at his stats, he probably is more of a centre midfielder with his creative stats. But I think if you're playing this game, regardless of how you're playing it and what restriction you've got to play it, I think you need a DMC in there of some kind. But then again, no, I'm saying this, he probably might go out and win. With no respect, he might go out and win 4 or 5-0 now. I'm saying
I think they have played it quite a lot this season, and they are top of the table. So it's one of those things where, everyone seems to think, and I'm one of those, a defensive midfielder is a really overpowered position and you do need one, but proving that they're doing well without, and they don't even need Milevsky.
Well, that's it. If that's where, if they play that majority of the season, they've got that results, it might start making us all question their own teams and how we play. So,
and our own existence.
Yeah, well, that's there's been many a time due to this game we all question that. But no, to be fair, they've done fantastically well so far. Dalgety Rangers, without a shadow of a doubt. So we'll try and get that in a few more times before the rest of the night.
We have Atletico Newmills, who last time round took a big beating for their only defeat of the season. I mean, you look at the top four; they've lost one match each in 9. And here we've got as we've noticed before, defensive midfielder out from the Newmills team and popped into that position for Dalgety Rangers. So it's going to be a tight battle of Gattuso versus the attacking midfielder.
Yeah, and it can be rocks or diamonds, can't it? Can Gattuso. It can be really, really good, or it can be really, really bad,
or really creative.
Or really. Is he the only one, or is he duplicated? Or
I'm pretty sure there's at least 2 in the league somewhere, but I can't confirm. But I think he must be one of at least 2. I can confirm because we've got. So there's only one in this league. He might be the only one. He doesn't play for Milan, so he's a unique player.
Well, I think that bodes well in the Newmills' favour, but it's a really strong team. My 2 major concerns about this team, which probably been all season as well, it's Giggs and Elmander. I don't like Ryan Giggs playing that central midfield role. Elmander, I don't rate whatsoever.
Giggs is just coming into the team at the moment. He's only on 3 games. Elmander is on an average rate of 8.
And scored 4 and assisted 3. So who am I to talk about players? Brian Hughes, though. Michael Hughes, sorry, is
one of the key players, isn't he?
He's one of them players that he'll get a big move even late on in age from Wimbledon in the game. So he's always got something about him that the game loves. And you look at his bench. His bench is really strong as well.
Veron's been dropped for today after a 5 last time out.
I mean, when you're chasing results and you plug in for the top, you've got Ronaldinho on bench, you've got Veron dropped. You can see why people do it without a shadow of a doubt. But yeah, you're away at top of league, or it's you got Stuart Elliott's a really good player. Yeah, as he's done himself a bit too much, undersold himself a bit too much by not having his. Don't matter. So there's a lot of things. A lot of people say it don't really matter how they've played, but you put your players that are the best players in your team, and massive. Yeah, I tell you what, massive kudos for Noopy for not doing it.
We'll see how it goes this time. I think his red kit has been a bit unlucky this season for him. We will see how things go.
Because the Man United fan, hand in hand.
Peter Bertlin refereeing for today. Let's see if we can get a cracking game on this one, or will we just have a slow one? Chance there for Lizarazu, coming close to scoring. Van Nistelrooy as well with a chance. 2 Van Nistelrooys up against each other in this match, of course. Lizarazu to Van Nistelrooy, nearly for De Gers. They seem to be the team that are attacking a bit more. Barthez playing very, very well for Newmills at the moment. And Elbert scored. It's 1-0 to De Gers, coming close to the halfway point in the half. We are just over it now. And still chances at both ends. Kiotis is starting to be a little bit more involved. Emerson's had a chance for De Gers. And a penalty given, and Kivu makes it 2-0. Barthez took a yellow card for bringing somebody down. Gattuso makes it 2-1 with yet another contribution to a goal there for him this season. 2-1 coming close to half-time. Giggs has had a chance. And down the other end, a good save from Barthez from Van Nistelrooy. And it is now half-time, 49 minutes for the first half. 2-1 to Dalgety Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, they've not really set the world alight, and Newell's have got, they're not far off in terms of range, so they've got obviously a chance of getting back in this. Yeah, I mean, obviously, Dalgety have been a little bit more forceful going forward.
As they have been all season. Well, actually, Atletico Newell's have had the most shots of any team. So it's a bit of a surprise to see them a bit off there. But, you know, the playing as the away team. They've.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see them nick a point here. Looking at the overall thing so far, on the stats, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them nick a point.
Getting the quick goal to pull one back was definitely a key thing they needed to do. So we've got Emerson passing it to Elbert, who's volleyed it in, as I always seem to describe them, a Mark Hughes-esque goal. And then Barthez has taken down Elbert, so Elbert's been heavily involved in both goals for them. Kivu popping in the penalty. And then Sigalko heading it down to Gattuso. So Sigalko with a bit of creativity today. For Dalgety Rangers, they're not passing the ball very much.
Well, you can only pass it if you've got it enough. They've got next to no ball, haven't they? It's
yeah, I mean, possession-wise, they're at 55% as well. They've had so what's been going on?
Yeah, I think it's one of them flaws of the game, and you find that some teams have had little ball, they've scored goals, and they've created loads, and all of a sudden they've got like best one of them's got probably a bit less than that, like 12 passes, but again, it shows they've got a lot to build on as well. So if they kick it up a gear in second half, they could really put Newell's to the sword. I can't see it happening the way it's been going in first half.
Yeah, I do think it's one of those. I mean, Liverani, if they're going to win the game, which they are winning at the moment, if they're going to win the game, I think Liverani needs to put a foot in the second half a little bit more. At this point round, looking at Gattuso with his goal, it's kind of been quite quiet other than that. Barthez has been heavily involved, made some good saves, but also given away a penalty. And Van Nistelrooy having a very quiet game for his team. Just have a look at substitute things here. I don't think we need to make one for Dalgety Rangers and for Atletico Newell's at this point. 60-minute subs. So we'll continue. And it's been probably again more of De Gers yet again. Before Aymar had a chance there, saved by Barthez. And then Atletico Newell's come forward. Giggs heavily involved, and substitutes now happening. Dalgety Rangers, first of all, just consulting my sub things. So let's see. Same sort of instructions as usual for these. So they've got no injuries to speak of. And just Van Nistelrooy to come off. And so, I mean, there's a few choices here. We've got Agahauer, we've got Brocek, and we've got Nicky Franco to go up front.
Yeah, it's got to be Brocek, hasn't it? Agahauer for me doesn't do it in AMC or up top, and that's just what Nicky Franco in him around. In my opinion, maybe because he can't do it up front, can't he? Can Nicky?
Yeah, go for that. I think at this point he's better off the ball, isn't he? Let's go for him to go up there. That'll be the sub for that team. And for Atletico New Mills, substitute-wise, we've got Ronaldinho for the worst performing or least fit of the midfield three. Hughes is on a 6, but Elmander's got an injury, so I'd take Elmander off.
Yeah, more than sensible.
So, and that's a Barry Ferg. Oh, Ronaldinho, of course. It's Ronaldinho's been called there. Stuart Elliott for the worst performing or least fit of the front two. And it's an interesting one here to see that. I mean, if Sigalko's not injured, and he isn't, that's Ruud van Nistelrooy coming off for both teams.
Yeah, because it means he's got a lot higher conditioning, so it means he's done next to knack all, doesn't it? So
subbed for both teams. That's definitely probably a first there, isn't it? See, well, I mean, obviously no one else is having Van Nistelrooy on 2 teams in the world, but you know, to see him coming off, Nikiforenko does get his goal up front.
I would about to say Stuart Elliott is a very good player on this game. And then, as I was about to say it,
Nikiforenko shows he's a better one.
To an extent.
And there we are, 90 minutes. And the final whistle, 3-1 to Doggett Rangers, who shot for shot have shown that they should have won that game.
Yeah, they were. That's dominant, isn't it? Really dominant. I think the glimmer of hope that New Mills give themselves a little bit of a flash in pan, really, considering how Dalgate have just come out it again. Can you see past them coming top at league and winning it at this present moment in time? Probably not for me.
I'm kind of between them and Trumpton, because Trumpton can seem to do it in any formation.
Yeah, I think Trumpton are just tweaking too much, in my opinion. Not that I'm anybody to talk from previous experience, but
oh well, look at the sub.
Yeah.
I mean, Brocek has gone into that attacking midfield position. He's set up. Nikiforenko has gone up front, so it's definitely worked sub-wise in that position for them. Yeah, I think there's not a lot to talk about. Not a lot to talk about. They've done very well. Every single player has performed quite well, but without being spectacular. Very efficient performance.
It's not been like superb, but it's got the job done. For a 3-1 win and it to be not that good, again, it stands them in good stead for the rest of the season, in my opinion.
It certainly does. We have got 2 games left, and just before we go into this match, I believe we've got in the studio with a live musical performance right now, Tato Mourinho. So let's have a listen to what he's got to sing for us.
There once was a game of best through and through, the year of the game, 0102. Some players made up some stats not true, but the fan base grew and grew. Soon may the Super League come to bring us Martin and Ryan and chums. One day when the playoffs are done, we'll take our leave and go. Some of us hadn't played before, but lockdown had become a chore. Tato called all hands and swore we'll sign Neil Scally and Toe. Soon may the Super League come to bring us Martin and Ryan and chums. One day when the playoffs are done, we'll take our leave and go. Before the game had truly gone, with Football Manager 21, the boys still played, new saves were made, there's nowhere we will go. Soon may the Super League come to bring us Martin and Ryan and chums. One day when the playoffs are done, we'll take our leave and go. There was a journeyman they played, some races and an edited save. Nothing quite compared up with the Super League Big Show. Soon may the Super League come to bring us Martin and Ryan and chums. One day when the playoffs are done, we'll take our leave and go. We lost our captain, Lord and King, the Belarusian goal machine. Rest in peace, you've gone too soon, our Maxim Shigalko. Soon may the Super League come to bring us Madden and Ryan and chums. One day when the playoffs are done, we'll take our leave and go.
Oh, Tato, that was absolutely fantastic. Thank you very much for coming in to do your performance today. Yeah, long live the Super League, and yeah, just great to have your song on today. It's wonderful. Thank you, Steve. Did you enjoy that?
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt, in the terms of, I can't help but saying without a shadow of a doubt, a lot of times, can I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was better than the first time. First time he did sing it. I think second time singing it, he nailed it a lot more. So massive respect for Tato for bettering himself and singing it a lot better, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Unchanged for today, is that right for you?
No, no. It unchanged from one before that.
Yeah, you said you were unchanged for today.
From previous to Dangley's, I said.
Oh, previous to Dangley's.
Yeah.
Yes.
I tell you what, can you clear it? I'll do it quickly. Clear it.
Yep, of course.
And I'll just throw some players there. So, FL, DML, FR, DMR, that AM to left AM, that one down to over AM, and then in the middle. Arrow to AMs on DMs. And then we'll go there. And I'll quickly pick my team.
There we go.
Can.
You wanted the same setup. Can.
Is everybody all right? So, Milevski, Maldini, Nesta, Dede, Finnan, Tomasi, Boya. We will then have Veron, Ronaldinho, Crespo. We're in full best players in the league. So yeah, Toldo, Cannavaro, Duff. No, take Duff out, sorry. Apologies. Vieira, Nicky Franco, and Collins, please.
And as if by magic, the team is set up. Wonderful. Nesta captain.
Let you do it. I'm always a fan of letting the
game decide.
The best one.
Calm captain. And for Los Aracas, they've had their hand forced with the suspension of Shea Given after his red card against Trumpton last time, which of course did contribute towards a 5-1, but was not the only cause. So today they've had to bring Costanzo in goal, and with that, in a minimal change to the team, we have had to withdraw Yepes from the starting lineup, put him on the bench, and Jonathan Woodgate has stepped in. And also onto the bench as well, David Batty has come on. So there are 2 Newcastle players on that bench. Glyn Thompson called in for the first time this season. The Fulham, third choice goalkeeper that's been brought in. Let's see how he gets on today. Los Aracas last time 5-1 defeat, and are just dropping down that league table a little bit at the moment. But of course, they did reach a cup final, did quite a good job. Stefan Ragnarsson refereeing from the Smack Click Cup arena, and we begin the match in style. Oh, there we go. Nearly 10 minutes in. Something going on. Aracas looked like the most likely in the first few minutes to get a goal, but Ronaldinho has come close, and I think Milevski was involved in an attacking position as well. half an hour into the game, and a disallowed goal for Crespo. And the Sigalco goes on the other end, and Khan's made saves. Will anybody score a legitimate goal before half time? It's close for both teams. And Finnan has come close to getting something on target there. Bowie penalty, a save. Milevski's penalty was saved. And it's half time approaching, and they've had two glorious chances ruled out. One for a save and one for being disallowed. Definitely edging it, but cannot get in front.
Story of the season, I'm guessing. You know, on top and not doing it, then being solid enough to keep somebody out to an extent.
Loads of the ball.
Yep.
Let's just take a look at those glorious moments of the first half there that you really enjoyed. Milevski's free kick, Crespo's got above, ruled out for offside. And then we did get a penalty. Jonsson took out the player, took out Lee Bowyer, and Milevski had it saved by Costanzo. At half time, the team are performing well, all at 7s and 8s.
Yeah, nothing I want to change there at this present minute in time. So, as I never normally do.
Very true. Milevski 6 headers, 6-1. But there's no stat there for penalties missed, of which he'd have one on there. But yeah, very solid performance from him. Good passing generally from the team. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be positive about, despite the fact that those two glorious chances, have resulted in no goals. Baracas, I mean, Costanzo is just doing everything.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're a little bit more solid than you might have expected, considering how on top we were, which makes them a little bit dangerous come the second half. They've obviously got some big players that have scored a lot of big goals from this year. Clivert especially, I know he's got quite a few goals. So yeah, it's always going to be a difficult game against the Rackers, regardless if we're in good form, bad form, or not. So let's hope we can put some on that line this second half and give ourselves a little bit of hope that we can be better.
And there was almost some hope immediately in that second half there, with a chance. I think it was Veron. And Clivert's had a chance for Los Urracas. And they come forward.
It stinks of 1-0 Rackers now, does this? Stinks of it.
It's so close to. So I think we just called it a little bit early, but it's just to manage condition. Are you looking at Crespo coming off, or are you keeping him on?
Yeah, looks
And
like
there's Lee Bowyer as well on 81.
Right then, so we will have Bowyer for Vieira.
Oh, it's not dragging. There we are. Yep.
And yeah, Crespo's knackered in it, so Crespo's going to come off with David Collins, I think. Yeah, David Collins, yeah.
There you see. And just to check the Aracas team, managing conditions, 83. There's nobody injured. Nobody injured. They will continue. Will it make a difference making the substitutes? Currently, no.
Lot of grey.
It's been a bit of a quiet second half. Certainly not the action towards the end of that first half that we had. And can anyone make the breakthrough? It's been pretty much Radaby for the second half. Or the Phil Masinga team, as have been referred to a few times this season. Oh, it's Clivert for Aracas.
What did I say?
So late on, you called it, and there it is. You called it, and there it was. And nobody's performed badly. and just Sigalko and Riquelme for the opposition. Costanzo's played a blinder.
I'm sorry, but how many times has that happened this season? Really?
It's far too many times. It's a good job the only match that's left on is the Danglies after this, because you can at least perk yourself back up for that one.
Yeah, well, at least I can. I'm proud to say that I called that was going to happen.
Yeah, you predicted very well. Let's have a look at the goal. So Finnan's cleared it. Riquelme's picked it up, played it in. Baumer down to Cliver and a half volley. The defence just temporarily went missing. He's put in some decent tackles. They've done all right. Ronaldinho's been trying to get an influence on the game, as has Veron, but just unfortunately just couldn't get the ball in the net. I think it has been the Radaby problem, hasn't it? It's been the shooting.
I think I need to do some shooting. Forget the players shooting. I think I need to do some shooting. There were plenty of shooting done off season anyway.
Yeah, a new team coming in potentially. Ronnie Johnson, 15 tackles attempted, 8-1-4 key. The defence were
again one of my favourite players on the game. I love him. I absolutely love him.
I'm aware of that one from your previous things. Yeah, definitely. Ronnie Johnson, a big hero of yours, and I believe you're one of his heroes as well. Let's go into the final match, and it is the Oatcakes versus the Danglies. Between them, they have got 1 win and no draws in their 18 collective matches. We have a quick look at the team. Oatcakes have been forced to make one change. San Nazario, after his headbutt on Ibrahim Said, is now missing the next 9 games. So he will be out, and into the team has come Daniel Bent. Are you a fan of the team so far? Do you think that they've deserved better than nothing?
I mean, I think there's been a lot of games that they've been in a lot of, and they've also gone up in a couple of games. The formation lends to the rules to an extent. I think it's probably the only formation, if I'm honest, that sort of bends the rules to point of breaking. Everybody, but you can't. With the side he's got, you wouldn't even be bothered if you turned around and said, "Don't have to worry about rest at rules," because it's the players that he knows that have got big stats in them. The problem is when you're coming against sides of the better players on the game, that's where they might come a little bit unstuck. If you're putting that side in a conference, like you probably will do, you'll win it and probably lose 2 games all season. Division 3, you might lose 2 or 3 games, up. Coming up against people that are idiots and pick out the best players on the game, like myself, might struggle a little bit. But he's coming up against somebody tonight who hasn't picked the best players in the game. He hasn't even picked the best players for his concept squad. So let's see where it goes.
Just remember last time it was only a 1-0 defeat. Only a 1-0 defeat, and they played most of the game with the 11 men. Danglies, who last match was so close against Radaby, and the game before that did beat Gondor in the big relegation.
Can we talk about that so close? We got talked about it being worst game in the world. I think it was. I battered him, and I scored 1 goal. Mr. Mourinho bang out of order with what he thinks is his worst game he's ever seen, comparing it to the Holocaust, and I think I might take me my views back on his vocal talents, if I'm honest. But this is new.
So yeah, a bit of a change to the Danglies setup for today. It actually strikes of playing players in their best positions for the majority of things and giving them a good chance of winning.
Have they done that this season?
They have. I don't think they've used the formation as such.
Look, I'm not being funny. So after his 89th minute appearance, where's Peter Crouch?
Yeah, after he got that one little game, I think that's it.
I'm sorry, but Peter Crouch needs to be in that team.
He is good enough, isn't he? He's definitely
Of
good
course
enough
he
to be
is.
in the team.
He's better than Coy.
Aquilani.
He's better than Diouf. Barros, maybe not. But no, not having it. I don't care what Mr. Wooder thinks is best.
Dean
Peter Crouch is
Saunders
best
not
back.
there either. So no Dean Saunders. Well, we've had all 25 players use. Aquilani can have the number 5 shirt. He's not having 26 for no reason. Krista Felstrom refereeing from Pikelet Village. And here we are. And Daniel Bent has scored. It's 1-0 to the OTs already after just 3 minutes, I believe. So 1-0 to the OTs. Can the Danglies get back into this game? OTs have only led probably 2 or 3 times this season in total, but they've played out nearly half an hour, still ahead. Marchant's had a chance. It's 2-0. Graham Marchant has made it 2-0. This is certainly the Danglies what they thought was a great chance to win. They are 2-0 down to the OTs, who look like they're going to pick up their first points of the season. Chance for Shearu. And at 2-0 at half time to the intrinsic side. What do you make of that one, Steve?
I mean, I've taken my Dangley shirt off. I think it's disgusting the way they performed. But that, for me, is taking it away from the way the Otters have performed so far. Steve Phillips on a 7 means that Dangley's aren't put too much their way. But rest of them, defenders, I think this has been coming for the home game for Otters. And for me, it's just a damn shame it's come against Danglers. I wish it had come against somebody else because everybody knows I like me Danglers. So, but no, yeah, hats off to for the Otters for the first half performance, without a shadow of a doubt.
Oh, yeah, Larry will be pleased with that. Yeah, 2 minutes there. We've got Traore making a bit of a mess of a clearance. Bischan making a mess as well. And Bent picking up a loose ball and having a smash a goal. And then no action for 20 minutes after that. Just dead air for 20 minutes, pretty much. And then,
has that been a standard thing for Traore, shafting things for Liverpool? You know, we've seen his ugly legs and
I don't think it's been horrendous for him this season, but Michael Jackson with a dangerous corner headed in by Marchant as well for the second one. I'll have a quick check of Traore in a second. Michael Jackson, yeah, 21 out of 25 passes, great play from him. Daniel Bent, the goal. Jeff Whitley, very creative in that goal. Yeah, doing a great job.
There's definitely no black or white with Jackson's performance. He's been really good.
It's absolutely on the money there, isn't it? It's looking into the Danglies' performance, Traore this season. He's been one of the standout players, to be honest. An average rating of over 7. Danglies will be making no substitutes for this game unless enforced. And you almost wish that they'd let themselves do it, to be honest. 5 headers out of 5 for Bischan. 2 tackles out of 4. He's putting in a performance. Other ones, a lot less so. Let's see how the second half pans out. To be honest, if OTs won't be making any subs either, so this game's just going to go to the end because he's not on a 6 or less, so they're just going to carry on.
Have the Danglers not got an 89th minute special this time?
No plans for Aquilani to come on in the 89th minute, and it's still 2-0. A very quiet second half. Dangley's looking to try and get back into the game. They do have a chance. Salif Diao has scored 2-1. Salif Diao.
It's been all action, I'll give it that. Probably the most entertaining game at night.
Here's a late chance potentially. Nothing going. OT's 2, Dangley's 1. Full time, and look at the number of 8s on the pitch from both teams. we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 9 from one team, and 4 players on the other team with 8s. Great performance there. And Dangley certainly had the more of the ball in the second half.
Yeah, they've absolutely, to be fair, they've had better at that game. Well, they've had better at that second half. They've really gone to it. Probably left themselves a little bit too much to do second half, but Mr. Larry and Otis have got to be massively proud of getting the first 3 points over the line.
And the fact that they will have climbed 2 places potentially in the table. I don't know about goal difference. Certainly climbing 1, but maybe 2 places in that league table. And the goal in the second half from Salif Jow was, Phillips didn't quite gather it, and Jow's put in one after Juve had the chance it was originally. OTs, yep. Just look at the defence at Nick Baker, 9 tackles out of 9, with 6 of them key. Yeah, it's the kind of player that you need in your team for that game. And yeah, Barakat's done a reasonable job with his passing, with his heading. He's had a shot. Marchant looked lively. Daniel Bent got the first goal. And then for Dangley's, well, Jow rescued his performance really. He wasn't putting in the tackles. He rescued his performance with a goal.
Yeah, I think his goal's the only reason that he's got that 8, really, isn't it? Looking at the stats, that he's not been in the mire, has he? I mean, a couple of them have done themselves a bit proud. Biscan, he's always going to do that in centre midfield. But as much as Danglers were on top, Dudek's done a good job with what the Otis did, apart from 2 goals he scored. And yeah, I think it'd be more. I think the Danglers have been more disappointed than the Otis will be happy about the win, if that makes sense.
Fully agreed. Fully agreed. Yeah, I think that, well, OTs do have something to celebrate at least, don't they? We're going to take a look at the results and the league tables, but we won't do a stats check as it's the midweek round this week. We'll do that one at the weekend. So, Dalgety Rangers keeping themselves top of the league with their victory. Gondor in the next match now, you can see that they've moved down to the bottom of the league. And so let's take a look at that table. So, Dalgety Rangers, we've got the Blues and Trumpton all on 25 points, but now a 5-point gap has opened up between the top 3 and their chasing pack, which is now 3 teams: Atletico New Mills, Roundhay Park Avenue, and Real E No Chance. So yeah, it looks like they're just starting to get away, but I wouldn't say it was all over, not by any stretch of the imagination.
No, definitely not. I mean, obviously the 3 teams up there have done fantastically well. You got look at obviously Athletic and Roundhay. I'd probably say Athletic to an extent are probably the closest to being able to break in, because Roundhay have been a bit up and down. Really, probably not scoring enough goals as much as they're not conceding. But all I'm saying is just be wary of a Rugby charge for 10 games on bounce. Give us 30 points, plus top of the league. So
yeah, you can finish on 58 points still this season. 16 games to go. But Stackington are now ahead of Rugby.
Well, can I have a resignation in now? Can we? I know you've got people. All right. Well, in my opinion, Rugby will finish 7th.
Which, considering the start, is a good turnaround.
It's
well,
progress.
Yeah,
well, I'm aiming for 7th.
Still a positive goal difference. Yeah, we've got, look at the teams there. We've got Oraka's -2, 76 is -4, Stackington -5, team below you -15. Such a big difference there, isn't it? But yeah, OTs have climbed to 12th with their victory.
There's not many people conceding less than us, but for all us, fake attacking flair we're supposed to have. We just can't put a ball in the back of net, which it's been proved we've had better games majority of this season. You know, a lot of chances, a lot of more on target, just not being able to convert it. I think a real reflection. I don't think we deserve to be top 3, but if things had gone our way with a bit of luck, I think we'd have certainly been sat down 6th, 5th, sort of within a bit of a chance. But it is what it is. And now we go on a run and we pick a bit of a tactic and see if we can turn it around a bit.
And you're looking there, Paolo Maldini's in the team of the week from your team. Milevski has also made it in, so 2 of your players have made it to the team of the week. Gondor, Roger Freestone, despite the fact the team have gone bottom of the league, he's still in there. Nick Baker definitely deserved that. Steve Finnan, before his injury from Grove, has made it into the team. Patrick Vieira, yeah, it's just a team of stars, isn't it? Kivu in there for his Kivu's got the penalty, I think he is for Dalgety Rangers. Costanzo called in to replace Shea Given. Ibrahim Saeed in there from Trumpton. Great team, great team. Quick check to the fixtures for the weekend. 76ers versus Rugby, a massive game there.
That don't get any easier, does it? After our cup exploits, where we got an hiding from them. So
that is an incredible match, isn't it? Top of the table clash, Blues versus Dodgers. That will be massive, massive, because if neither of them can do anything here, Trumpton in 3rd could see off Roundhay and go top. Other matches, we've got Otis away to Los Aracas, Danglies versus Grove, so still a chance there. Stackington versus Gondor. Stackington looking to continue their good run of form, but Gondor much more deserving than just 1 point this season. Thank you very much, Steve, for your assistance today, especially during all the technical gremlins and things that we've had. Not been the easiest show to do.
Not a problem at all. If it's going to get, at least if it's going to get a bit tough, at least it's one of regular. What's the word for it? Gate crashes. That's normal point of view.
And thank you very much to Tato Mourinho for your contribution as well. Much enjoyed. Thank you.
Honestly, I'd just like to say I thought his vocals were far better than they ever have been on any of his videos so far. And if he wants to carry on doing random vocals, I'm sure he'll find a spot for the rest of the season. So well done, Tatted. Well done, mate.
And well done to Zoom for finally coming back on and finally letting me record the end of the program properly. And we'll see you again on Saturday night for this Division 2 and Friday night for Division 1, their cup matches. Of course, at the beginning of this show, we had Graham Symington to thank as well for his cup commentary for the Hulls match. Thank you again, and we'll see you soon.